My name is Marine, I'm from Switzerland. I've been for 1 year in Iraq. I started as an intern, now I'm the Protection and Human Rights Director, and I have a background in development studies. I heard about the opportunity of this internship here with Mercy Hands through Mercy Hands Europe, which is another NGO that is the sister organization of Mercy Hands for humanitarian aid. It is based in Geneva. I was doing an internship with them, and then through them I heard about the opportunity of coming to Iraq. It was for me a good time in my career and my life to do this, so I decided to go for it. So at the moment when I decided to go to Iraq, I did not want especially to go to Iraq or Middle East. What I wanted the most was to be closer to the field, and I knew coming to Mercy Hands would really bring me this experience very close to the field. I could really experience project management, etc. And that was really what I was looking for. I was not particularly looking to go to Iraq or either the Middle East. I just really wanted this experience. Of course, Middle East, as also like Latin America, which is another topic, has been my main, let's say, interest for my studies, so for the past years. So it was also the opportunity to know more about the region, to know more about Iraq. I was really interested about, but I would say the first motivation was really to have this field experience, which I got. So yeah, I'm very happy about this decision. So during my first days with Mercy Hands in Iraq, I think I had to get to know the organization, to understand how things were working. I had to adapt, I would say, in the first days. I knew somehow how local NGOs are and how they work, so it was not too much of a shock or anything. But I think the first days must be taken really for adaptation and also understanding how things are working. So this is mainly how maybe my first days were, but I was, very lucky, and it will still be the case that, of course, the colleagues are really welcoming, are very nice, and there were also other expats who were there, and it also could help me to guide me a bit through, this new life, this new job. But overall, people have been very, very helpful. I asked many questions in the first days, but I got my answer all the time because people really want to help. The colleagues from Iraq, but also the colleagues from elsewhere, they're always very supportive and very willing to help. So I think it may feel sometimes a little bit different. It may feel a little bit maybe as if you need to first get used to it, and it's very much of a new environment. But there is support, there is lots of support, and lots of willingness to help you navigate through this. So as an intern, then as the Grants and Partnership Manager, and then as the Protection and Human Rights Director, I had the opportunity to do many field visits and also to meet very different partners. So it was from UN agencies to governmental entities and also to local organizations. So first, maybe on the field visit, that was something very important to me to really understand how things were going on the ground. I was not a project manager, but I at least had this access. So field visits are for anyone in Mercy Hands, any expats, any intern coming, are very accessible. The only thing is you to ask the project manager to join. It's been very interesting to see how very concrete things are being done, and by this I mean even pre and post test, those kind of things, organization. It's also, I learned I think a lot about flexibility and adaptation, because of course sometimes there's a little bit of delay or there's lots of traffic, for example, also in Baghdad. So there's also a need to adapt also during the activity. So I think that's something I also very much learned from those field visits. And again, I think something I said already, like there's always a great willingness of the colleagues, of the project manager, the mill officers, etc., to answer questions, to show how the work is being done. So it's been very, very instructive, I think. I learned a lot from others, from what I saw also on the ground. And second, about the partners and the meeting with different stakeholders. So I've been involved as a focal point with the UN agencies, but I've also attended several meetings with UN agencies. So it's also this, I would say, internship opportunity is also a great opportunity to understand more how UN programs work on the ground, and you will have the opportunity also to directly engage with them. It could be through working groups, it could be also through meetings, it could be also as a focal point if there is an ongoing project we're implementing with the UN. So this has been also very interesting from my side to know more about those more like technical aspects, let's say, of UN programs. On the side of the government, so I think this was also a very interesting experience in the sense of having direct access to governmental entities, to ministries, or different departments of the government. I could go and ask questions, for example, when assessing the needs and the gaps for designing new programs. I would always go with Iraqi colleagues who would work as translators and also, of course, help navigate the meeting and also ask their own questions, etc. So this has been very instructive, very interesting. And I think also the closeness that Mercy Hands has with the governmental authorities is first something very precious, but also for you, your own experience, something very interesting to be able to work that closely with governmental authorities and understand their needs, their interests, where they want to go with what kind of like programs they already have in place, what are their also interaction with other UN agencies, for example, but also local organizations, etc. And maybe also in terms of partnering, working, collaborating with local organizations, Mercy Hands has strong connection with local organizations, and they also work on proposal with them or also on implementing projects. And this also has been a very great learning on my side of understanding the, let's say, the challenges, the gaps, the needs of local organization. I mean, Mercy Hands is a local organization, but it's slightly bigger than, let's say, other local, very grassroots organization. So it has been also very interesting to be able to see this, to experience this, to exchange with them and find, let's say, a common ground to create projects and to work together. So I've learned also a lot from that. And I think also for the future, this will be something very precious for me to have this very like grounded understanding of how really local grassroots organizations work on the ground. And maybe the last, to finish on those this topic of partners, I guess what also I learned a lot is communication. So to adapt to very different kind of interlocutors, to different kind of stakeholders, and be able to communicate, to understand each other, and to find, like, let's say, common grounds of understanding. First, I recommend 100% of doing this opportunity, but maybe before you come, just liaise already with colleagues, with other expats, to know a bit like how is the daily life, how are the accommodation, what do they do in their free time. It will give you maybe more not stability, but a little bit more vision of how it's going to be when you get there. So I think that's a good way also to prepare, to just ask a bit about how is the daily life, how is the office life, etc. And something I recommend. And then maybe during the internship, do things during your free time. I mean, there are many things to do in Iraq. There are many places where to go around Iraq. Like I personally travel quite a bit, and there are beautiful things to see. It's also a great opportunity to discover different things in Iraq. And for the job, maybe come with very much in mind that this is a local organization. It will require from you to adapt, to be flexible, but it's also a big local organization, and it will give you so much in the sense you can learn a lot, you can have lots of responsibilities very quickly. You will have always lots of support from the different colleagues. So just, come with this flexibility in mind. And I think that's it.